Hi guys, Harry Sunday here, letting you know that there's a apparel company that supports the game that you love. It's called thereisonlyonefootball.com, guys. They've got all sorts of stuff, from caps, t-shirts, water bottles, all sorts of accessories, even for your mobile phone. All that sporting stuff you can wear anywhere you want to wear it, guys. That's right. And don't forget the website it's on, therisonlyonefootball.com.
There is only one football!
To show you what's happening right here, right now in the studio, because we got this beautiful shirts that we're showing with Frothy right now, guys. Frothy's back with me. Frothy, what's happening with these shirts, mate? Can you tell me what's happening right now?
Shut up, let me talk. Now,
bloody
listen,
hell, mate.
We have these great tops here.
Yes.
Now, it's a bit of a 2-minute show tonight, I believe. So
Yes.
we're back in town, but we'll be
We are.
officially back in town on
That's right,
Monday
yep,
with
yep,
some
yep,
major announcements and start again. Announcements.
Yes.
Can you spell announcements? Can you?
Announcements.
Can you spell that?
I can't spell
Well,
it all.
leave it for next time. Now, let's go through the tops. Now,
That's
these
right. Yep,
tops,
yep.
well, if you were born 400 years ago, you'd know about these tops. So we've got the great St. George here, I believe.
No, Brisbane Lions,
Sorry
mate.
about that. That's Brisbane Lions there.
Brizzy Lions, mate.
And we got South Melbourne Hellas there.
No, Fitzroy United, you're
Sorry
telling me,
about
mate.
that.
Fitzroy United.
This one's Inter Monaro, is it?
Into Monaro.
No, that's St. George Budapest.
St.
apparently.
George, yes, the Hungarians,
Yes,
the Hungarians,
and over
mate.
to my right, which is your right as well. Are we still
Yes.
on?
We're still on,
We're
of course,
on?
we're still on,
Well,
mate.
over
Yes.
here, we got the great Sydney Olympic. And I know the cat has probably ordered a couple of
Oh,
those.
he's got a couple of hundred, mate.
Well, I tell you why he's ordered a couple. I had a chat with Peter Raskopoulos during the week.
Oh, he hates his guts.
And he said to me, Peter Catholos, a cat, has ordered 2 because his gut's so bloody big, he needs 2 jumpers to make
Really?
one. So, well, look, that's only a joke. Cat.
Oh, my God, mate.
Well, look, also, Canberra, what's this? Canberra City.
Canberra City. You know who coached them?
Yes.
In 1977?
Frank Garrock, wasn't
Johnny
it?
Warren.
Johnny Warren.
We're laughing, mate, everywhere.
I told you so, Johnny Warren said. I doubt we'll sell many because how many supporters did they have? That's beside the point. Also, we got Hokoa up there.
That's
great,
right, of course.
Brazilian heritage, are they?
Brasilia. Well, yeah, a lot of them escaped to Brazil.
We'll leave it at that. And the great Marconi.
Marconi.
And let's go through them. Great quality.
Of course.
They fit nicely. They are cheap. You know what? They're too bloody cheap.
$75.
$75 is not even $80.
Plus postage and handling.
Plus postage and handling, and our great friend with David Ben and
Yes.
Arrow Sport.
Arrow
They've
Sport
come-
together.
yes, they've
There is
come
only, and
together.
then guys, you can buy them on. There's only
Well,
one
you keep
football.
going. I'll play the great South Melbourne tune.
There is only one football. Where you can get it from? There is only one
There's only one
football.com
football,
in
yes, sir.
conjunction with Arrow Sport. You can also buy fantastic
Yes,
kits for your teams as well
yes.
at Arrow Sport, and they're working together to bring you these fantastic
Yes, they are,
1977
Are we still on?
Phillips
Check 1,
Lee.
2.
Of course,
Check-
you're bloody
Sorry
on,
about
Frothy.
that. Yep.
And of course, guys, 1977.
Yes,
These shirts are fantastic. You've got the other ones at $150, which are the
Well,
rigid jigs, $150,
yes,
and then
but,
you've got the sublimated ones
yes.
at $75, guys. So yes.
Yes. And can I just say, I
Yes.
suppose it's not appropriate to say this, but my team had a win on the weekend.
Yes, they did.
Well, not the weekend, a couple of days ago. So they're flying, and I tell you what, it's pretty much it. Now we're going to sing a song just to.
Well, I
finish
can't.
the-
We can't
the short
actually.
show
We
tonight.
can't actually sing a song tonight
No,
because
well,
we're just
doesn't
doing
matter.
we're just doing the show tonight.
Well,
that's
we're
all.
just advertising the jumpers here.
That's
and,
right, guys. Where to get them from? There is only one
football. That's the one there,
football.com.
and,
So, guys, thank you, guys. Get these fantastic shirts right now because you will never find them. Good night, guys. Thank you for joining us. See you in a couple of days' time. Thanks, guys. Get on Arrow Sport.
Monday,
Arrow Sport. There's only one
We'll
football.com.
probably have Paul Wade on
Thank you,
Monday,
guys. See you. Bye-bye.
There's
Thank
going to
you.
be summer we're going to have.
Tonight we've had tonight, guys. We couldn't get Andrew Pascalides on, but we are back for a couple of minutes to do a little show, a small show for our sponsors. And what's happening is Footballers is live again for a few minutes. Welcome everyone to Footballers. It's live again. Tell me,
Are we on?
we're bloody well on.
Oh, come on.
Check it out, guys. It's party time again. A small show.
Explain to everyone why there's been a technical
The cup
glitch
of
tonight.
life. This is the
We've
one.
got the young man downstairs.
Now is the time. Don't never stop.
Fine. Well, you know what?
We shouldn't know. Gotta be
I'm
strong.
going to sack him.
We shouldn't know right from the
I've
top.
made the
And
bloody
when you
effort.
feel
I mean,
the heat,
not even
the
a
world
grand.
is at your
There you
feet.
go, there you go. Good old
No one can hold you back if you really want it. I see it in your eyes. You want the cup of life. Night the days, here you're gonna get it. Do you really want to tell me? Do you really tell me right now? Everybody! Here we go. Ali, Ali, Ali.
Now, I've got
Good,
no idea
good,
we're on
go.
actually, but
Ali,
I tell you
Ali,
what,
Ali.
let's play Randy
Tonight's
Andy's
the
favourite tune.
night. We're gonna celebrate. Here we go. Ali, Ali, Ali. We are the people. We are the passion. We are the history. We are the soccer psychos of
Yes,
Australia.
we are
And we're going
all
to talk
of the
about
above.
some bloody game yesterday that we went to, Frothy. We went to this game yesterday. And I tell you what, mate, it was our way, the highway. It wasn't our way yesterday. What was happening yesterday, Frothy?
Well, listen, we went along and saw Hellas versus Alexander.
Hellas Alexander.
Now,
Alexandros.
well, I'll tell you what,
Alexandros,
now,
I'm here.
shut up, let me talk.
I'm here, Alexandros.
Now, the problem is, you bang on about this second division going on, and it's
Yes,
going
it's
to work,
it's
and
happening.
it's going to make money,
I had some
and
good-
it's going to produce Leo Messis and Pelés and so forth.
That's right, yeah.
Harry, on our way to the ground yesterday,
Yes,
we
I
went
know.
to the village. It's called the Village there.
Exactly.
The Heidelberg supporters bang on how they've made all these improvements, and
Oh, yes,
it's looking
They
fantastic.
were quite good, actually.
Now, I tell you what, this stand, the old stand,
was
the
still
one
there, it's
across
still
the
there.
road from the
Still
stand
there,
that's
still
got
there.
seats,
Still there.
those same rocks that were there back in 1981 are still there. Now, let me just say this.
Stop laughing, guys.
Now, when we were driving to the ground, did I not say to you that if there's not at least 10,000 people here today, now surely the Burgers have got 5,000 members, and surely good old Hellas have got 5,000 members. Now,
Serious?
that game is a derby. It's the biggest game in Australia.
Oh, we know that, guys.
Now, if that can't attract 10,000 people on a sunny afternoon in Melbourne, it was cold, it doesn't matter. Now, if they can't attract 10,000 people at that game, what hope have they got in the second division? Now,
Well-
we virtually counted, now shut up, we virtually counted about 914 people at that game.
Really?
Now, that is a low attendance. So there's the evidence. Second division will not work. Thank you very much.
There is a few little
And I'll
things.
see you next Monday. Thank you very much.
He's lost the plot, guys. But let me tell you something right now, guys. Let me say right now, that game would have been a good game if a lot of people were there. But the problem was to walk through the gates there and think, what's going on here? This was a former NSL ground, that was
Wow.
packed. The president spoke to us many times, and
did.
of course, Edward Kenneth Taylor. We should call Kenny Taylor, I think.
We should call
I
him
think we could
because,
call Kenny. We're going to
he's
call you
dead right.
Kenny. We're calling you Kenny because I tell you
What
what.
do we call, what's his name, Randy Pascalis? What was his name? What do we give him a shot? Because
I
I've got
I
some
don't know.
commentary for him where, well, look, I'm going to say this. I just want to apologise to the Melbourne Victory Football Club because I've been saying all along that they
Andy,
will win.
I want to call Andy. See if we can get him back on.
That they will win the toilet seat and the salad bowl. Now, thank God I was wrong with that prediction because they've been hammering me today, Harry. The
Is Andy
Victory
coming on?
supporters.
I don't think so.
Well, who are you trying to get on there?
I'm going to get Mr. Pascalides.
Andy Harper. What do we get Andy Harper on? You never know.
No, that's okay. We're going to get the father of the ground,
Who's that?
King Kenny Taylor, if we can get him.
Well, let's get Kenny Taylor. And,
Well, Kenny Taylor, if you're there, Kenny Taylor, we're going to
Yes,
bring you
yes.
on because we know exactly. I wonder if you're at the game yesterday. We're at the game yesterday, and we want to get you on to talk about the game. There we go.
Well, there was lots of action. There was fights. There was broken legs. There
Of
was
course there
broken
was.
noses.
Oh, did you see the broken nose?
Even the security guard slipped over. Did you see that?
I saw that myself, yes.
Well, I don't think you would, because when he slipped over, you were on the phone, on the bloody internet again.
Well, let's see if we can get Kenny Taylor on,
Well,
guys.
let's get the king on. Maybe we get John Saz on. Is John Saz...
Hello, Mr. King Kenny. How are you, sir?
King Kenny.
Good, Harry. How are you?
We're going to get you on last minute because I was at the game yesterday.
Now-
Frothy's at the game yesterday. And guess what shirt I'm wearing tonight, Kenny? What do you think?
It's a terrible shirt. Let me answer that for you, King. Kenny. Yellow and black. He looks like an overgrown whale in a canary jumper.
I'll say one thing to you, mate, right now. Alexandros.
Kenny.
Alexandros.
Kenny,
Kenny
you
knows that one.
obviously weren't there. We didn't see you. Now, why
I
did you?
I unfortunately couldn't make the game yesterday, but I think the situation with the Hellas Heidelberg derby or Fisher United derbies in the past, obviously the crowds were obviously big crowds, whether it be Olympic Village or Olympic Park and so forth.
That's right.
I suppose it's a bit disappointing. I suppose, especially though, Hellas, I think they're top of the league at the moment, so you would think that they would actually have some sort of kind of crowd. But it's a bit disappointing in that regard.
Well, let's talk about the crowds and the league. Did I sound Irish then?
He sounded Irish.
Is he Irish or English?
He's from New Zealand. He's from New Zealand.
He's a New Zealander, Kenny.
Yeah,
That's right.
But look, Kenny, we went there, and look, there's no excuse. I mean, really, it was a sunny day, for heaven's sake. Yes, it was cold. You put a jacket on, put a scarf on. You could wear the orange scarf too. Well, I actually wore my orange scarf.
And you did?
Round.
And you did?
And they all said, "Why do you follow that shit team?" I said, "Well, at least in the
Excuse
A-League,"
me.
Well, anyway, but Kenny, now look, we could virtually count the people, and you said it yourself. Now, if they don't rock up to this game, which is the traditional derby, how are they going to make this second division work? There was no one there.
That's going to be obviously an extreme, a big challenge for the people making decisions. So, but yeah, look, I've said this, publicly before. I've got photographs of myself at Olympic Park so forth. And there's more people in the background than go to the games now, which is, as I say, is terribly disappointing. And I know that Melbourne City had the game yesterday roughly at the same time, but that's no excuse.
Kenny, I will tell you one thing, Kenny, is that the situation here, I'll say that again, the situation is that why did they bloody well bulldoze Olympic Park when that was the home of Victorian soccer? Is that right?
Yeah, well, I think you've maybe got to kind of look at the strength in Victoria, and it has been for over 100 years.
Yes.
You've got to look at the AFL, VFL. They've got more money than you can poke a stick at.
That's right.
And they obviously are very influential in a lot of the things that happen. So, getting back to the this second division, all the comments and so forth. But I just find that if you look at the A-League as an entity, you started off years ago. Victory have obviously got a very sound supporter base, and you look at now, and even like Melbourne City. Melbourne City's probably very successful in the last 2 or 3 years, and they still can't even get a crowd. So you're saying to yourself, just logically, if that's the case with the A-League, how's the second division going to go?
What a wonderful world! Sorry,
the thing is, we've got Alex. Alex, we had a problem. Alex is talking to me right now about Andy.
Alex?
We couldn't get the machine working, Alex. We had to do different resets because it actually.
Well, can I tell them exactly what happened?
GoPro destroyed us again tonight with their stuff.
Kenny, the reason, look,
tell the truth.
look, we're a bit low on budget here. We need sponsors. Maybe Heidelberg can sponsor us.
Yes.
Look, we have a generator downstairs, Kenny.
Oh, the monkey's not there.
And we have an Indian fella on there by the name of Mandip, or is it Rashid?
He's got monkeypox, yeah.
Mandip.
Yeah.
And he has to pedal quick enough to generate enough data for the show to go on. But don't worry, Kenny, I sacked him.
We had a problem, Alex. Sorry about that. We'll have Andy next week, hopefully.
And next week we're going to have some Preet on the bike.
Who? Of course.
Some Preet.
Of course.
We're going to have him on the bike.
Of course.
And we'll give him some curry as well, Harry.
Oh my God, man! And you sell some kind of sauce, don't you? There, Kenny?
Yes, I do. Yeah, Mama G's sauces. Yeah, they're very good. So just getting back to the situation you mentioned about the ground and so forth and the improvements. Now, I think what's actually happened. Look, you've got to kind of hand it to the people in charge. Obviously,
Yes,
Steve,
yes.
the
Yes.
president. You know, they've obviously, in conjunction with the local council, have done
Yes, yes.
what they've done to certainly. You know, the ground obviously has improved as a surface.
That's
They're
right.
still obviously at different stages of improving the actual particular area. And I think when it's all said and done, it's not just going to be a ground obviously for soccer. It's going to be for the community. And
Yes, it is.
that's the key thing. That's why the local government have got behind
Yes.
and obviously and helped to do what they've done. So again, it's you sometimes have to walk before you can run. So I think
Exactly.
that long term, I think it should be a good venue. But obviously, if you haven't been there for a while, you get back in, you probably think to yourself, there's not enough a lot been done. But I think the car park at the back and and also the synthetic pitches inside.
Now, Kenny, let's be serious. Let's be serious here, mate.
Go on.
I went and got myself a bucket of chips there and a good old can of Coke. Now, those club rooms that were there from 1955, and I can see your graffiti on your locker still, mate, nothing's changed. All they've done, they removed the dog track. That old stands there, those same rocks that were there from 1982 still sit there on the ground. They put some new soil there. The pitch is fantastic. I tell you what, it is almost like the old Middle Park down there, Harry.
It is.
It's not quite as good the Middle Park pitch.
Well, I'll tell you something.
Now, they haven't done much, mate. They really haven't done much. And they bang on about what they've done. They've done nothing.
I'll tell you about... No. I'll tell you about that one. I'll tell you one improvement that I was noticing yesterday, Kenny, and I'll tell you something right now. Is on the... Not where the grandstand is, where the seats are, but on the other side where we were standing... I could not believe how closer we were to the game, Kenny. They actually took apart the running track there and they pushed the fence more forward. And I could not believe how closer we were to the game. And I'll tell you one thing: they should have at least had some seats around the ground on the outside. There's some seats there as well. What they should have had. They should have had that. And I don't know why they can't put a grandstand on that side. There is like a, what do you call it, a carport or something on a hill.
It's a shed, that's
and
what
they don't put nothing there to sit down, Kenny.
Now, come on, they're kidding themselves, mate. I mean, there's nothing's been done there. I mean,
sorry to interrupt you, boys, but I think if you actually you go and speak to obviously Steve, the president, and obviously the people involved in the committee, and actually did you and you should actually ask for to see some of the plans that actually are going to come down the line. Again, we're in a situation where we want things done yesterday, and obviously we're still not say we're in. Well, I'd say we're out of the kind of pandemic, but for 2 years nothing really happened. So you're in a situation where there is a lot of things in play, and things are going to happen in the future. Now, as I said before, people just want to walk. They want to run before they can walk. So
exactly,
I'd say in that situation, even where we classify as the VIP room, well, that I'm sure that's going to go, and there's going to be different things happening. Where the original thing where you get in for your chips and your can of Coke, frothy, that's obviously going to be a different area. It's going to be like a reception area, I believe.
Yes. Good.
So it's a situation where
it's happening.
Things are not going to happen. They're probably progressing slowly or slower than probably what people expectations are. But saying that eventually, again, obviously, we can't give a time frame to when that's actually going to happen because, we're still I suppose, in a pandemic to a certain extent.
Well, Kenny, let me just say this, my friend. When we're 92, maybe they'll have a proper grandstand, mate.
Frothy, if I make 92, I'll be absolutely over the moon. If I make 92.
Well, you still got another 62 years to go.
Kenny, those I'll tell you, I went around the ground, I had a look at everything, I searched around the ground. I was very surprised of the other grounds they've actually put around the back there, which is amazing.
That's right, yeah.
And it looks so neat now. When you walk up to the fence there now, it's very neat. It's concreted and everything looks very neat, and it looks very nice. And you know what? We were at the second half. We're at the second half. Steve was in front of us. I said, "Steve, how are you?" And Steve's out on the ground. They said, "Am I in your way?" No. This is Harry from Football Lesson. Frothy, how you going? Oh, you're the guys with the shirts. Oh, how you going, boys?
Yes, the guys with the shirts. But,
that was funny, that.
Well, listen, they got... look, at the end of the game, Kenny, we all trying to get out. We're all like sheep trying to get out of the back of the semi-trailer there, mate. They had this little opening there with the old, what's the word, turnstiles.
Turnstiles,
1956.
1956.
From 1956. Everyone was tripping over it and falling over. and this massive gate they could have quite easily opened.
No.
Now, they can't organise that, mate. Now, seriously. Hey, but listen, we were supposed to have Andy Pascalides on tonight.
That's right. We
had some data problems before.
Problems earlier with this bloody...
And now, Kenny, listen to this. I was going to read this out. I was going to read this out to our mate, what's his name? Randy Pascal. What's his name? Randy.
We have a message here from Kenny Wilson here, by the way.
We're talking
He
to
says, bring in some Egyptian good builders. There you go. That's fantastic.
Egyptian good builders. Now,
from Clydebank. Yeah, go on.
Yeah. Well, I was going to put this to Andy Pascal. What's his name? Andy or Randy?
Pascalides.
Randy. Well, Pascalides, whatever his name is. And I was going to say this. I was just going to see if I would make the cut for a commentator. Now, go with me here. Now, listen up. Now, this is my script here. Now, here we go. I'll have a crack at this, Harry. Good afternoon. Welcome to Middle Park. I'm Randy Stephanides. Not Randy Stephanides. What was his name?
Pascalides, mate.
Andy Pascalides. What a battle we have for you today. Hellas versus Alexander. Who will prevail this afternoon? Hellas with the likes of Blair, Campbell, Egan, and Alexander, Banovich, Tansy Cole, and the butcher, Arthur McMillan.
The butcher?
Join us after the break for kickoff. Now, Kenny, you reckon I would have been a good commentator?
I think you should have done well. You should, that sounded very succinct. Very good.
Yeah, so was I accurate with the stars?
I'm
sorry, I couldn't
I
put you
think,
in
yeah,
there.
exactly. Well, yeah, that's it. God rest him. Arthur, I think you've probably underestimated Arthur. I think he was Arthur was a very good player, but he was obviously hard at firm. He was hard at firm.
Oh my God!
Arthur was also good at breaking opposition legs.
Yes,
let's be honest.
He was very good at Middle Park, actually.
He made our top 3 ever butcher, didn't he?
He did.
He did. We put him in that category.
Even bloody, what's his name? The modern day butcher. What's his name?
The modern day butcher.
The modern day butcher. You're talking about what's that bloody idiot with a bald head now? He's the coach of that Japanese team.
That's the butcher down the road.
No. They're talking about that bloody spits all the time. Spitter.
The Lebanese guy. No,
that's him. Yes.
Mao
Zedong. Yeah.
Now, Kenny. We've got a big game coming up Saturday night. We want a tip, and you're going to tell us why this team's going to win.
No.
Western United are playing Melbourne City.
I'm going to tell you which team's going to win in a minute.
Well, now let's hear from the great Kenny Wilson. Is it
Kenny Taylor?
Sorry about that.
I personally, I think that actually Western United are actually going to do it. I think that
I'm with you there. I'm with you.
Melbourne City. If you put it this way, the game the other night with the Victory. The Victory obviously have done extremely well over the season. But I think the bigger cues for Victoria and Melbourne football is that the 3 teams in Melbourne have actually won 2 and 3. So that was a very positive. But I just think that Western United have just got the momentum going again. Melbourne City have obviously done extremely well, and they finished top of the league, which I still firmly believe if you're the most consistent team over the year, and I understand the way the football goes over in Australia. I've been here a long time, but I think if you're the most consistent over the year, you should be the champions. But that's just my own personal view. But I just think that Western United, have got the momentum, and I just think that they'll just pip it.
Well, why isn't the great man Diamante playing? He's injured.
He didn't play on the. You know what he did?
What's wrong with this guy?
Kenny, did you see Did you see the video in the rooms when they were celebrating it on TV? And he had his top on and he had his bloody pants on. What was that all about? Taking his bloody top off. My God, man.
Well, Kenny, I noticed something.
Again,
they all had their tops off and their shorts off. What were they running, a gay bar down here?
Oh, I don't want to talk about that, thank you.
I want to talk about Why were they all undressed?
Let me say, I'm going to tell you right now, Kenny, there are 2 matches on that day. There are 2 types of games on that. There's the game on the field and the game in the stands. Let me tell you about the game in the stands.
Okay, well, let us know.
Let me tell you about, and Kenny, and everybody listening out there, I'm going to be very right here. I'd like to see...
You might be left.
No, well, I'll tell you what. I'm always left. But I'll tell you, Kenny, is that the game in the stands will be which supporter group will have the most people. This is what I'd like to know. That's what I'd like to know, you see.
I think again with having the kind of momentum, I think Western United, just look at the game the other night. I get the fact that, Victory, they've got probably the strongest supporter base, which is unfortunately over the years it seems to be fading. But again, it's like any type of thing. If a team has been successful, you'll get more people come and see them. You've still got a core of supporters. Even like the Frothy's great team, Brisbane. They have a core of it might be 100 people.
Yeah.
They follow them, but if they're successful,
did he say 100 or
100 people? 100 people.
100. I'm being very kind there.
Can you hang up on the
Hey, leave them, boy. Leave them, man.
Really?
Now I'll tell you, Kenny,
here.
this will be if this is, and I will tell you right now, there's no home ground advantage here. There's no home ground advantage here. Well, they're playing on their same ground they play all year anyway.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
This is the biggest disaster. I'm going to look at this as more to criticise it a little bit in a way, but
so you're going to be negative again?
No, I'm not going to be negative.
Well, let me be positive.
It
first.
is not, and let me tell you,
all right.
and Kenny right now, and everybody listening out there, is that this will have to be the lowest crowds at any final, whether it be NSL or A-League. I can guarantee you it'll be one of the lowest. I'll be very surprised that they're going to be opening up tickets at the game, open up the ticket boxes like the old days and try and get people in. You watch, Kenny.
Wow.
Yeah, that's probably a fair call, but I think from a league point of view, there's a situation where I think the league would have loved to have Adelaide in the final at home at Adelaide, because they seem to create, because they're the only team in town as such, so they obviously get a lot of the support coming in, so the atmosphere would be slightly better, but it's going to be one of those. But again, the declining crowds over the years are actually quite disappointing.
We've got a big problem here, Kenny. By the way, Kenny Wilson's just made something a massive call here right now, Kenny. What he said, Kenny Wilson, saying Barcelona on Wednesday against the Harlem Globetrotters as well. So how is that going to work, where people are going to spend money to go and see Barcelona? And isn't that in Sydney? It's in Sydney or in Melbourne?
It's in Sydney, that's right. The All-Stars game, that's correct. Yes, right.
So now, what game will they notice better? And the thing about this is, if Barcelona, they're playing the All-Stars, A-League All-Stars, let me tell you, I reckon there'll be more people there than the A-League final. I mean, that is a very stupid thing they did, doing that, bringing Barcelona before the final. That's ridiculous, really.
Wow.
Yeah, okay. Again, there's sometimes the decisions that are made that are obviously been questioned. So,
yes.
But you've just got to live. You live by the sword, and you die by the sword.
That's really terrible. It's they're not thinking of the game here itself. They're thinking of the money that's going to be put into other people's pockets rather than the final of the A-League. That's funny, very funny.
Well, exactly right. So,
well,
but anyway,
go.
Just going to say, getting back to the second division dilemma. I just feel, if you're looking from a crowd perspective, as I've mentioned before, if you can't get crowds at the A-League, how are they going to get crowds for the second division? Who's going to fund it? Who's going to fund it?
That's what I say all the way, mate. I don't think it's going to happen, because yesterday was a perfect example. All right,
yep.
And these are
really
outside Melbourne Knights and Preston, I suppose. South Melbourne, Heidelberg. They're the four biggest clubs of Victoria. Let's face it.
Can I just tell you one thing in a minute?
And really, there's more people at me wedding. I mean, really. I mean, come on. I mean, look, the boys who are looking at this, the ones who are planning second division, if they were to find out how many people went there, they must be having second thoughts.
No.
Yes.
Can I just tell you both, Kenny and
tell
Frothy?
us both.
Let me tell you the biggest change in the NPL clubs that no one knows.
Well, what
now,
don't they know?
Let me tell you right now.
Well.
Hang on.
Kenny would have loved to play for South Melbourne.
In your day, and of course, when the A-League did start at the beginning.
Yes, it did. Yes.
In your day, Kenny, there was no women's teams, was there?
No, that's correct. There may be some teams, but obviously it wasn't as prominent as now.
That's right.
That's true.
Now we are talking here of the biggest game played by anyone in this country is this game, the World Game. Of course, we call it football or soccer. Don't forget, there are more women's teams now than there was in the 70s or late 70s when the NSL started. There are more junior teams out there now. There are more families going to junior games. So what stops that support, let's say from Melbourne Knights right through to Heidelberg and South Melbourne, that they have more teams involved and a lot more. They've doubled on their teams, as in under 14s or under 15s. They've doubled them in 2 or 3 teams. And I can't understand why there is more support to play the game.
Well, and
those supporters will, of course,
answer.
When the second division starts, you won't see them all turning up. The girls, the juniors, all of them. It'll be family affair, just like the old days of the NSL, Kenny.
Yeah, I think the big question there with those particular teams is the connection between the junior setups and the senior setups.
Yes.
So you're in a situation. I had the great honour of coaching Springvale City in the the State League in the reserves, and obviously Jimmy Rooney and Gus McLeod were the first team coaches, and again it's a situation where Springvale had probably one of the strongest junior setups, and I'm talking up to maybe say under 18s. But when it all came to came to shove, when they had the games at the weekend, none of the kids turned up unless one of the kids was playing in the reserves and had opportunities, sort of thing. And I think there's a kind of slight disconnect between a lot of the junior clubs within, say for instance, Hellas or Heidelberg, between them and the first team. And there should obviously be an encouragement to create the crowds, and obviously with the boys or the girls to come to the game. So, and I think that again, in a situation going back to the time when I came, and obviously that was a long time ago, there was less distractions, and whereas now there's so many more distractions, there's so many more things that the kids can do and they want to do, so forth. So it's always very difficult, but it's sad in some respects. I've been to obviously a few of the kind of the Hellas and Heidelberg derbies, and again, it's disappointing when you see that. You still see, from Heidelberg's perspective, you still see some of the old faces that even when I was playing. But now there's a situation where it just doesn't seem to have that kind of cachet with the kids.
I did speak to someone yesterday. Who's that?
I just had an email from George Stephanides.
Oh no!
He said, "Frothy, you're looking very orange tonight." Well, yes, Einstein. Obviously,
well, let me
orange.
tell you.
State the bloody obvious. I mean, what other colour would I put on? Harry? I haven't got an orange ball.
Let me tell you, Kenny and Frothy. I spoke to a few people yesterday, and said to me that had spoken to other supporters and saying, we don't want to go to these games anymore. We don't want to go to NPL anymore. We've lost the fact that we were a national team in a national competition. And this is the side of I've spoken to people from, I call it Fitzroy United, of course.
Well,
that's
no,
the
that
history.
was 5,000 years ago.
And the thing about this, and also the South Melbourne people, I support both teams in a way myself. But the thing is, they said it to me, a lot of people won't come to these games anymore because they know that if, let's say for a reason, yesterday, South Melbourne weren't there. South Melbourne weren't there, Kenny. And also, I will tell you, if Sydney Olympic were there, what do you think would have happened if Sydney Olympic were there playing Heidelberg yesterday, Kenny? What would you have thought?
Oh, look, it's very difficult to see what the crowd would be. Again, some of the Greek derby sort of thing. So, and there's obviously a connection between people who support Heidelberg and people who support Sydney Olympic. In Sydney, relations and so forth. So it's very difficult to. But you would think that the local derby would have more people there, sort of things. I say it's just disappointing that over the years. The only thing I will say is that the vehicle of the FFA Cup, and if you look back, it was only a few years ago that obviously Heidelberg, were doing extremely well. They played Perth Glory and they played Melbourne City. Now, the crowds were very good. Very good for their standards at that particular time. So in a situation where if Heidelberg obviously progress into the the competition like any of the teams, you'll get people going to come out, and especially if it's a local type derby. Even Perth Glory, so you say to yourself, Heidelberg played Perth Glory, but that should really create a big crowd. But it was a very healthy crowd that night, only because they were National League or A-League, and looking at FPL. So, but again, that's just a one-off, and you can't. That's not sustainable. It's not sustainable.
And as I said, people spoke to me yesterday. The two supporters from each club said a lot of people will turn up. Oh, we've got Peter Petru there. He's amazing. That bloke's amazing. And let me... hello. I love your shirt, Trelomu. He calls me crazy in Greek because I'm wearing his best shirt. And the thing is... Oh, that bloke's not here. Oh, he's back. Oh, sorry, Kenny. He's back again.
Shoot
the bloody... Sorry, Kenny. Horace just flew past. Sorry about that. We had to get rid of him. Listen, the thing is, Kenny, people said to me, a lot of people will not support the NPL anymore. They won't come there. Do you know why? And I heard, Kenny, in the grapevine of the second division that it's going to be all NSL clubs. I have this from someone in Sydney. NSL clubs, which have their own stadiums, will be the ones that will be playing in the second division. And let me tell you, there will be a lot of support. There are so many people there. And I'll tell you about Preston Macedonia. Hang on. And we had Louis Asevsky here a few weeks ago. If you saw the show, Ken, if you saw that, the coach.
He said, Melbourne,
he also, yes, he did. And he said to me that we are going in the second division. We've put our foot. Apparently, you should see their ground. You should see their ground, what they've done, Kenny, as well.
What have they done?
They're getting 5,000 people at the games, nearly 5,000, Kenny. How does that work?
Yeah.
You can't even get Western United. I mean, what is
there's
going on?
Probably more Macedonians than anyone else. Hey, but Kenny, let's talk the real game here. Sydney FC, 12 players shown the door. Now,
that's right.
That is a bit, I reckon it's a bit over the top. I mean, they finished just outside the 6 there. I mean, 12 players, that is a bit of a surprise to me.
Yeah, well, I think. Well, again, if you're going to obviously, get rid of players, the players leaving the club now. Obviously, there's different reasons for that. There may be players who want to move on. Maybe players out of contract. There's a lot of different things. Comes into the equation. But 12 players is a lot of players because you've got, at some point you've got to replace them, and because the A-League look at, it's not just a team, it's a squad. You need a squad of players. Like any set of football around the world, you need to have a healthy squad of players to actually be successful, to have success over the season. Because obviously people get injured, people get suspended and so forth. So yes, you've got to try and replace them. But again, not knowing Sydney City, Sydney United, whatever it is, what they're doing, they may have some players in mind from their NPL in Sydney, in the Sydney League. So maybe Kenny Wilson can maybe elaborate because he maybe knows a bit more than I would.
And he does. And I'll tell you. And I was in Sydney a few weeks ago, Kenny, as well.
So was I.
And I will tell you. That how many parents go out and watch their kids play in Sydney? I cannot believe this. How many kids are out there and their parents go and watch them at training and go to the games? But I mean, I was very surprised how the facilities and everything was so high standard compared to Victoria.
Compared to Heidelberg.
And I'll tell you what, Heidelberg's is very close to the Sydney stuff now. Very close to what I saw yesterday.
Come on.
Of course it is. But I'm very surprised. Very surprised.
Can I say
I
this?
think I think if you look, Sydney or New South Wales has always been, the stronger, football state.
Yes.
Even since I came over, they're always very strong in juniors, strong in, and so forth. So, and again, if you actually look, maybe a bit of a segue here, but you look at rugby league's obviously the number one sport up there, and you're in a situation where they play the rectangular park, whereas obviously, in Victoria it's always been VFL, it's always been the kind of, it's a cricket ground and it can be a football ground. But obviously, up New South Wales, Newcastle has always, even when we played, Newcastle was a very, very strong team.
Yes,
a lot of support behind them, and from the local community and so forth. So, I think Victoria, obviously, again, you're now bringing girls into the equation, sort of thing. So obviously, there's a lot more people in participation. So, but it's never going to reach the heights of New South Wales.
And what you said about New South Wales...
Well, that's debatable, Kenny.
No. And let me say about New South Wales... Let me say... And this is a massive debate. I'll tell you what, Kenny, when they play up there...
You're the master of debaters.
When the situation appears to be, that's right. But the thing is, Kenny, is that when you see them play up there, let me say we're Olympic play in the NPL there, okay, fine. They play at Belmore Sports Ground. Belmore Sports Ground is the rugby league ground, okay?
That's right.
And let me tell you, it is a rectangular ground. So when they play the games up there and they'll play them all on rectangular grounds. We don't do that. We play here on AFL grounds.
That's right.
Even when you see Western United go and play at an AFL ground down at Ballarat,
Geelong,
which is ridiculous, and Geelong, every ground at least is the right configuration for them to play, and people can see the game properly. That's why you say they're ahead of time. Of course they're ahead of everything in their standard, everything there as well.
Well, hold on, guys. Now, listen, Channel 10, did you see...
Oh, they're ridiculous.
Did you see what happened last week? Channel 10 apologises. Human error. They missed Adelaide's second goal. Now, this is the coverage of the A-League. Now, can you imagine the coverage in the second division? Harry, you and I might as well go get our iPhone.
No, we're going to
do the broadcast.
We've got the broadcasting equipment here. That's fine, no problem.
I tell you what, that is disgraceful. I mean, back in the old NSL days, you'd never missed any action. Now, how can you have a human error? And again, victory versus the Ninjas the other night, Harry.
What a joke.
There was a clear penalty there.
Yes.
I hate to say it is, clear penalty to the victory.
No VAR.
No VAR. Now, seriously, what is going on? I mean, it's a semi-final. How on earth could they stuff that up, Kenny? Really?
Yeah, I think, again, listening to my my colleague in Sydney, Kerry Wilson, the other week on your show. I think he actually hit the nail on the head. The fact that the coverage has obviously been pretty ordinary.
Very ordinary.
From Paramount. But what they've done is they've actually, as Kenny, I think he mentioned that. Just say, for instance, they get say they get 60,000 people, getting the actual channel.
How many
because
did you say? 50 what?
50,000.
They say they get 60,000 subscribers.
Yeah,
so then obviously what happens is then they, whenever it is the contract's up, they say, right, we're going to lose X amount, but they'll still might retain 10,000. They might retain 20,000 because people say, okay, I've actually got that particular service because obviously the football, but because obviously they've got movies, they've got different TV shows, so they're going to retain. Right. So, and because they're such a big conglomerate anyway, they're not really worried. They're not worried about. It's the same thing. Previously it was like Foxtel. You look at Foxtel now. The Foxtel, what basically they've done is because they want to be seen to be diversified and so forth. I get all that, but they're in a situation where they put all their money, or maybe even more so, from what they had for the football,
yes,
to put it to netball. Now, netball's obviously the biggest female participation sport in Australia.
Yes.
So they're in a situation where saying, well, we're going to get more people want to watch it because of netball, and they say they spend all the money there. So, yeah. But look. It is what it is,
Kenny, and you're talking about basketball as well. My God!
Oh, that's
unbelievable.
Well, but basketball. What tends to happen with basketball? It just tends to kind of ebbs and flows.
Yes, it does.
It's about every so many years, it comes back into prominence. When I worked at Adidas for 20 years, and
yes,
we used to have a corporate box for the different teams and so forth, and then obviously it seemed to kind of die off. But there's still a lot of kids playing it. So, but then it becomes more prominent, and it comes back up into the mainstream again. So, but
yes.
but certainly, I believe that the money they had spent, which I don't think was a hell of a lot, at Foxtel for the football, they've just put it in netball, and netball's right. Obviously they see it, So,
well, Kenny,
I've just had a question.
Now, you got a question? I've got
a question here. I have a question from one of the biggest supporters there at Alexander.
Who we got there?
Peter Petru. He says, "What do you think, big man?" He says the Burgers deserve to win. Yes. Well, I tell you what. At halftime.
Well,
at halftime,
that was a fixed game.
They weren't playing well at halftime, and they scored. But when they came out at halftime, Peter, they just changed. The whole team changed.
Well, why don't you tell him the truth? We spoke to the president.
We did.
And that game was fixed. They wanted Heidelberg to win, just to move them up the ladder a bit.
Here we go.
Now, these things happen. Hey, but Kenny, I've got a prediction here.
Go on.
Well, first of all, the Victory supporters are very angry at me. I gave them all the... I said they're going to go all the way, and fortunately they didn't, for our sake, Kenny. But let's leave that aside. Now, Dwight York signed to MacArthur, and I'll tell you this right now. He will last 1 year.
Who's this, Dwight York?
Dwight York will not have a second term at the MacArthur Bulls.
It's ridiculous what they've done.
No, I think that is I've got nothing against the guy, but it just doesn't sound right. It just doesn't sound right to me, Kenny. I hope I'm
wrong.
I
think, well, obviously what they've tried to do, they've tried to put some sort of, obviously a name into the situation. And again, you've only got to look at, different teams around the world. It's a classic saying. A fantastic, world-class player doesn't make a good coach.
Exactly.
Kenny, you know what I'll tell you? You know what I'll tell you about him coaching next year? I will guarantee you.
What are you going to guarantee?
He puts on the boots for a couple of games. You watch this. You watch what he does.
Well, he might be a player coach.
Yeah, well, again, that may be true. But I think the other thing is what's even more disappointing is the fact that there's probably a lot of young, good upcoming coaches.
Plenty.
I want to look at different coaches who obviously could fit the bill and just don't get a chance, and that's what's disappointing. So, exactly. And again, you've got situations where you've got people who are assistants who are fantastic. Well, but when they step up to that main job,
Johnny A could have got the job. Johnny A.
Well, he's probably one of the first people I thought of. He's such great success at Bentley Greens.
Yes.
He's probably thinking to himself, has my time kind of passed by because these jobs come up and I don't even get quoted, so which is disappointing. So, but again, if I really wanted to say the crux of Australian soccer or football, and I've said this quite a few times, is the fact of the demise of the EIS, the demise of if you look at what's happening now in football globally,
yes,
you're in a situation where all the players that came through and I'm talking the Premier League in England.
Yes.
What's happening now? What's happening now is the girls, the Matildas, are actually doing what the guys did 15 years ago.
Yes.
So you look at the teams, look at Chelsea, Manchester City, and even obviously teams in Europe. Most of the Matildas, if not all of them, are all playing over in those leagues. So in a situation where you look at the what do you call it, the men's side of it, it's just it's kind of very disappointing. They've obviously got one or two players playing in different areas, but it's not as prominent as it was before. And again, I still firmly believe that the fact of the AIS, and I'm sure it was to do with funding. Obviously, they closed it down, so you're not getting that elite player. And I think what they've tried to do now is, because of the A-League, they're thinking, well, the A-League will have these academies. But the thing is, when it's all said and done, you're still going to get kids going overseas to Italy, to Greece, to wherever it may be, Croatia, whatever sort of thing.
Kenny,
England.
when it's all said and done, before it's my 36th birthday, because unless I cut you off,
of course.
Now we have a great South Melbourne coach. Well, I reckon he's ready to get to the A-League. What's his name?
Yep.
Escobar Autobar.
No. Pablo Escobar.
Pablo Escobar.
What a great coach he is.
He's proven it this year. Surely he can get a run at MacArthur, couldn't he?
Oh well, exactly. Well, I'm sure he would. But again, it's the same thing in coaching as in playing. Everybody's got potential. You do different things. But in a situation where somebody has to give you a break, and then you've got to take it. Now, you're in a situation where sometimes you can open a bit of a can of worms, because you get, you say, you're looking. If you've not got the cattle on, it doesn't matter which sport it is. If you've not got the players to have success, it doesn't matter if you're the best coach in the world. It's just not going to happen. It's just not going to happen.
Correct.
So,
correct.
Which is disappointing.
Let's cover the Postecoglou subject here.
I need to speak to Kenny about something before you get on there.
Kenny,
I saw just a minute. I just saw the highlights a few days ago of Rangers, and I could not believe what happened.
Yes.
I could not believe what happened.
There you go.
Poor Georgie Campbell goes all across there to Spain, and what happens?
Yeah.
I can't believe it.
But Georgie got too much money.
I know. I know. But I tell you what.
No, look, again, there's a lot of people I know I've played with and friends and so forth. They still don't know if I support Celtic or Rangers, and I actually don't support either.
Yes.
But what I'm saying is that obviously I'm pleased for Ange Postecoglou to do what he did.
Yes.
And the one thing, to me, the main thing he did was he went over there and I had people, relations and friends back in Scotland, asking me, who is this Postecoglou and I'm saying, well, this guy's obviously, he's won championships in Australia. He took Australia in one of the Asian Championship. He's been in Japan. So he's obviously got great credentials, but his number one asset, I think, is he went in himself. He went on his own. He didn't change any of the backroom staff, where obviously everybody was calling for their names, last year with Lennon. Yes. And obviously his guy's been there for quite a while. But he basically, he let them, stay in the job sort of thing. And he's basically done it on his own.
Yes.
So that's a kudos to him sort of thing. But again, look, I don't think if you speak to most sensible Celtic supporters, that they're not under any illusions that if somebody comes along, he's going to go. Same as what happened previously. The boy went to Leicester, Rogers.
Yes.
You mean yes. So? And the thing is, the kind of mistake he did was he's obviously a Celtic supporter when he was a kid.
Yes,
but what he did was, he was, one thing I hate is that when they start kissing the badge and all that sort of stuff. When it's all said and done, it's a business. If somebody comes in, it's any business. There's always, somebody's always got, plenty of money to take over the business. And obviously, what happened to Rodgers, he got the first offer to Leicester and he went. And obviously, they're all these people up the rail. People now are saying with Postecoglou, eventually he's going to go, hopefully he'll go to the Premier League. Yeah. And I think he's now got the credentials to go and do that. And it's certainly a kudos. But from Rangers' perspective, they obviously, they won the cup, at the weekend there. So disappointing against Frankfurt. But saying that there, I wanted Rangers to win because it's, to me, from Scottish football perspective, it's good for Scottish football that they actually win, because then,
that's right.
Scottish football's seen in a different light. Whereas the last 15, 20 years, it's just been in the doldrums, and that's what it's kind of disappointing. But it's from Ange Postecoglou, it's just fantastic for him and his family.
Now, Kenny, look, I know sometimes we pass greats, and you are a great, my friend. They struggle with this particular thing I go through with the NSL A-League comparison.
Yes.
Oh, well, first of all, wouldn't you have loved to have Georgie Campbell at Heidelberg back in the 80s? You would have won 5 in a row, wouldn't you? Can you imagine Campbell in there?
You'd have to, and obviously I'm a very good friend of George's, and I actually spoke to him the other night. You've got George Campbell, you've got George Campbell, Branko Bulovic. Who would you take?
Oh boy.
Well. Yes.
See, so again, but what I'm saying, I look when the comparisons come up. Obviously there's a from my perspective, there's always a kind of bias because I firmly believe that the quality. There's a lot of quality in the leagues. There's some really good kids playing in the A-League at the moment. Don't get me wrong.
Oh, yes.
But maybe it's not just the players. It's actually the systems that they're playing. That's
Josh
one thing.
He's a great player.
That's
Andy
right.
Brennan's a great player.
Yeah, so you're in a situation where but I think in the era I played in, and even just beyond when I left, the National League, the quality of players and the quality of teams was just absolutely outstanding.
That's right.
You look at teams like again, I look at teams like Juventus, and they had all these different players, Peter Lewis and Buddy the Bannons, and also and you're talking about absolute quality. John Dow, who unfortunately passed away, but you're talking about that's just one team. Then you get Croatia, then you've got there's just endless. And again, there's always that kind of bias when you've played in that era to today.
Well, let's see now. I'm going to give you the old NSL A-League comparison.
Here we go.
Well, look, simple. Just put it like this. Let's say you were picked to coach a club next year, and these two players are available. So let's look at it like this, right? I'm going with John Eisendorn or Alex Wilkinson.
Oh, Eisendorn any day.
Well, let's hear the king. He might. There's no bias here.
Well, the only bias I would have is the fact that I think that, and again, Alec Wilson is an outstanding player, but John Eisendorn was probably more adaptable because he could play more than one position. I'm not 100% sure whether Alec Wilkinson could play in the middle of the park.
Yes.
No.
Whereas I think John Eisendorn could. So again, look, it's when it's all said and done, some of the comparisons you come up with, which obviously are very kind of interesting, but in a lot of cases, you'd probably take both the players if you were actually in that situation and saying, well, if you could get the players, and I know you can only pick one, but again, there's probably a slight bias here. I'd probably pick John Eisendorn.
Yes, of course.
Well, that's fair enough.
We have to wrap it up there, King Kenny.
We're going home,
where we've got to go home, King Kenny, and I'm sure we've got a few things to do.
Yep.
We've got to do others. And thank you for coming on last
no problem.
call for you. Thank you very much for coming on, and we hope to get
Always
you
good to have
and
a
Kenny
burger
Wilson
on
to talk
board.
about the Scottish football if it takes off next year with of course Rangers and of course you've also got Ange Postecoglou there. Who knows what he's going to be doing, but we'll keep an eye on him like we always do right now. That's the thing about that. So, all right, Kenny, thank you for joining us.
Kenny,
not a problem. Thanks, guys. Have a good night.
Thank you, Kenny.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kenny.
Champion,
Thank you, Kenny. I tell you
you.
what, mate. He's unbelievable.
He knows exactly what he's talking about.
Oh, you're talking about a guy who's got experience like you wouldn't believe in Scotland and playing in the NSL as well.
Harry, now we can say this because he's not listening.
Yes.
Now, we spoke to him off air, and do you remember what he told us?
What did he say to you?
Let me refresh your memory. He said his dream was to play for South Melbourne.
Oh, really?
I forgot to tell him that. He wouldn't admit that on air, I must admit, but now it
amazing.
just goes to show you, even the old Heidelberg players knew that South Melbourne was the better team overall.
Yesterday?
Well,
you have that
not
many
yesterday.
fits. We got that many Heidelberg United people there saying South Melbourne played better. But
Yesterday's game was fixed. We all know that.
Well, if anybody, I'd like to see anybody out there listening right now. Was the game? If you were at the game yesterday, which we were at the game.
Well, Harry,
I tell you what, that goal by Ivan was unbelievable.
Ivan Kalic, what's his name?
Ivan bloody. I don't know.
Peter Franjic. Now listen. Harrison Sawyer.
That's rubbish. See, you said it.
Harrison Sawyer.
You've got a Heidelberg guy telling you rubbish. It was all set up.
Harrison Sawyer.
He was unbelievable, that bloke.
Now, hold on. He had the ball all by himself. He had half an hour to actually do something.
Oh, yeah.
And he skied it. Now, you can't tell me that game wasn't fixed.
I've got nothing to say.
Now,
there were supporters
3 meters
there.
Out,
there
and
were
the
supporters
ball
there.
Went 6 metres over the crossbar. Now, you tell me how he can do that. He's a top goal scorer at South Melbourne. There was no one next to him. He wasn't even composed. Now, there's clearly some money going under the table.
Oh, I don't think so.
There's got to be something going on down at Burgerland.
I don't know what's going on, but I'll tell you what, mate.
Well, I hope not.
Hang on.
The
Peter Petra here says, if South got their chances, we would have been FUCK'd, yes.
Well, maybe Peter. What's his name? Peter Peter Perfect.
Petru?
Yeah, Peter Perfect. Maybe he's right. Now, who does he follow? Does he follow the Canary team? Or
He
does
does.
He
He follows
the
these-
great South Melbourne over here.
Of course, he follows these. Hang on. Our Slovakia does that. What's this? The Slovakia does that to the players. Here you go.
Well, what the hell is a Souvlaki?
I don't know. He's next time we
got
go
an
down there,
energy
somebody's going to
drink.
bloody. And I tell you what, tonight I'll tell everyone
Well, I'm
right
gonna
now.
play Peter
The
Petru's
people
favourite
watching.
tune.
Hang on. No. Oh no. Oh God. Somebody help me, please. Somebody help me. Let me tell you something right now.
Peter Petru.
I
loves
left
this
a
tune.
message, and everybody who's watching tonight is all. We're talking about Heidelberg United.
Yes.
I left a message today for Steve Tsalakidis, who is the president. I have his number.
Steve Tsalakidis.
I told Steve. I left a message.
Sounds
Steve.
Greek to me.
Yeah, I told Steve, please, Steve,
Could be
come
Russian.
come on the Footballers show.
Yes.
We want to talk about what you said about the game yesterday, how we're struggling, teams are struggling.
Yes.
We want to get you on in the studio with George Katsakis here, because George has come on the phone. We want to get you guys together in here to say what can we do to improve our clubs and to get more people at the games. I can't see that at the NPL, but when the second division starts, I believe it will happen. And you know what Peter says? Laugh out loud. You will never get him. Oh, well, we'll try. We'll get him by the bloody. We'll tie him
Never
up.
get who?
Well, Steve Tsalakidis. Steve, the president.
Money talks.
I
We
know.
spoke to him yesterday, and he needs a bit of cash.
He's showing the monkey pictures, 2 monkeys.
What monkeys? Well, listen. We'll put it this way. At the end of the day, it was a disappointing crowd. Doesn't
It
matter
was.
who you
I was,
follow.
and I told you when we
Right.
turned up. I said there'd be nobody there. I was right.
It was
Absolutely right.
It was perfect conditions. Now,
Oh,
seriously.
what great conditions to watch a
Perfect
game.
conditions.
Oh, unbelievable
but,
conditions.
Yeah, it was disappointing. It was
I couldn't even get
disappointing.
in. The problem was I couldn't get in. They get a souvlaki.
Now
Bloody hell, mate! Was that packed?
The old what is a souvlaki? Is
I
that
don't
a
know, mate.
Greek
Who
kebab? Is it or
cares?
something? Is it, or?
Something like that, yeah.
Yep. Yeah,
Guys, we're going to finish the show off right now, and we hope to have Andrew
Now we're going
Pascalides
to
next
sing
week.
Sweet Carolina.
No, we're
apparently.
not doing that. We're
Well,
doing this
why
one.
not? We sing it for the ninjas.
We're doing the usual, boys. The crowd, Peter, was it? They sang about 2,000 people at the most.
2,000.
That's all, even less than that.
744.
Thanks, guys, for this different show tonight. We want to start early with Andrew Pascalides. We couldn't do it. We had some difficulties, but we got through and did something different. Here you go. Good night, guys. We hope to get Andrew Pascalides next week in a couple of days' time.
Let's
there you go.
get loud.
Check it out.
Let's get loud.
Peter goes, hup. One for Western United, sorry. I can't even sing now.
No, well,
You
you
got
can
me.
start
Oh,
singing
my
now,
God.
guys. The Cup of Life.
Ah, you've lost it again, mate.
We'll start it again.
Here we go.
Here we go. It's coming up.
I feel it in your soul. You want the cup of life.
Life.
Not the days here, you're gonna get it.
Hey!
I see it in
Oh.
your eyes. You want the cup of life.
Cup of Life.
Not the days here, you're gonna get it. Do you really want it? Do you really want it? Oh, they got it yesterday.
Yes,
Haha.
we want it.
Here we go.
Here
Ale,
we
ale,
go.
ale.
Here we
Go,
go.
go. Frothy's lost it. Ale, ale, ale. Good night, guys. See you next week. We hope that we can actually bring Andy back next week. Thanks, guys. Everybody, good night. Thank you. Hi guys, Harry Sunday here, letting you know that there's a apparel company that supports the game that you love. It's called thereisonlyonefootball.com, guys. They've got all sorts of stuff, from caps, t-shirts, water bottles, all sorts of accessories, even for your mobile phone. All that sporting stuff you can wear anywhere you want to wear it, guys. That's right. And don't forget the website it's on, thereisonlyonefootball.com.
There is only one football.
what's happening
Yes.
right here, right now in the studio because we got this beautiful shirts that we're showing with Frothy right now, guys. Frothy's back with me. Frothy, what's happening with these shirts, mate? Can you tell me what's happening right now?
Shut up, let me talk.
Oh,
Now,
bloody
listen,
hell, mate.
We have these great tops here.
Yes.
Now, it's a bit of a 2-minute show tonight, I believe. So
Yes.
we're back in town, but we'll be
We are.
officially back in town on
That's right,
Monday
yep,
with
yep,
some
yep,
major announcements and start again. Announcements.
Yes.
Can you spell announcements? Can you?
Announcements.
Can you spell that?
I can't spell
Well,
it all.
leave it for next time. Now, let's go through the tops. Now,
That's
these
right. Yep,
tops,
yep.
well, if you were born 400 years ago, you'd know about these tops. So we've got the great St. George here, I believe.
No, Brisbane Lions,
Sorry
mate.
about that. That's Brisbane Lions there.
Brizzy Lions, mate.
And we've got South Melbourne Hellas there.
No, Fitzroy United, you're
Sorry
telling me,
about
mate.
that.
Fitzroy United.
This one's Inter Monaro, is it?
Into Monaro.
No, that's St. George, Budapest.
St.
apparently.
George, yes, the Hungarians.
Yes,
The Hungarians,
and over
mate.
to my right, which is your right as well. Are we still
Yes.
on?
We're still on, of course.
on?
We're still on,
Well,
mate.
over
Yes.
here, we've got the great Sydney Olympic. And I know the cat has probably ordered a couple
Oh,
of those.
he's got a couple of hundred, mate.
Well, I'll tell you why he's ordered a couple. I had a chat with Peter Raskopoulos during the week.
Oh, he hates his guts.
And he said to me, Peter Catholos, the cat, has ordered 2 because his gut's so bloody big, he needs 2 jumpers to make
Really?
one. So, well, look, that's only a joke. Cat.
Oh, my God, mate.
Well, look, also, Canberra, what's this? Canberra City.
Canberra City. You know who coached them?
Yes.
In 1977?
Frank Arrock. wasn't
Johnny
it?
Warren.
Johnny Warren.
We're laughing, mate, everywhere.
I told you so, Johnny Warren said. I doubt we sell many because how many supporters did they have? That's beside the point. Also, we got Hokoa up there.
That's
great,
right, of course.
Brazilian heritage, are they?
Brasilia. Well, yeah, a lot of them escaped to Brazil.
We'll leave it at that. And the great Marconi.
Marconi.
And let's go through them. Great quality.
Of course.
They fit nicely. They are cheap. You know what? They're too bloody cheap.
$75.
$75 is not even $80.
Plus postage and handling.
Plus postage and handling, and our great friend with David Ben and
Yes.
Arrow Sport.
Arrow Sport together. There is only, and then guys, you can buy them on. There's only
Well,
one
you keep
football.
going. I'll play the great South Melbourne tune.
There is only one football. Where you can get it from? There is only one
There's only one
football.com
football,
in
yes,
conjunction with Arrow Sport. You can also buy fantastic
Yes,
kits for your teams as well
yes.
at Arrow Sport, and they're working together to bring you these fantastic
Yes, they are,
1977
Are we still on?
Phillips
Check 1,
League.
2.
Of course,
Check-
you're bloody
Sorry
on,
about that.
Frothy.
Yep.
And of course, guys, 1977.
Yes,
These shirts are fantastic. You've got the other ones at $150, which are the
Well,
original jigs,
yes,
$150,
but,
and then you've got the sublimated ones
yes.
at $75, guys. So yes.
Yes. And can I just say, I
Yes.
suppose it's not appropriate to say this, but my team had a win on the weekend.
Yes, they did.
Well, not the weekend, a couple of days ago. So they're flying, and I tell you what, it's pretty much it. Now we're going to sing a song just to.
Well,
finish
we can't actually sing a song tonight
No,
because
well,
we're just
doesn't
doing
matter.
we're just doing the show tonight.
Well,
That's
we're
all.
just advertising the jumpers here.
That's
and,
right, guys. But where do you get them from? There is only one football.
That's the one there.
.com.
And,
So, guys, thank you, guys. Get these fantastic shirts right now because you will never find them. Good night, guys. Thank you for joining us. See you in a couple of days' time.
a couple
Thanks,
of
guys.
days,
Get on
and we'll
Arrow
see 'em on
Sport.
Monday,
Arrow Sport. There's only one
we'll
football.com.
probably have Paul Wade on
Thank you,
Monday, I
guys. See
believe.
ya. Bye-bye.
There's
Thank
going to
you.
be summer we're going to have.
Football